very sorry for the people who had donated money in good faith to Lisa's fundraising drive and had been scammed out of their hard-earned cash.
You can identify Andrea with that hurt.
Yeah, we've had quite a few people approach us. Not the same as Lisa's GoFund or anything, but I had somebody contact me 2 years ago. It was actually the journalist from the local newspaper who said that I've had somebody contact me to say that they're holding Georgina for ransom and they want 50,000 bitcoins. If this isn't paid by the following Wednesday, Georgina will be killed and thrown outside the local hospital.
My goodness.
Obviously, the police had traced the IP address and traced that it had also been used for some other scams. It wasn't concerning missing people. It was other things that they still pursued it a bit, but, we were quite certain at that time it wasn't true. But, when you first hear them, you do, it is distressing because you think it just could be a possibility. When you first hear, oh, she's been kidnapped and there's, all these things go through your head like, well, why would they kidnap her? Why would they do that? But I think missing people's families and missing people that, they know that they're very vulnerable. And there probably have been times when people have paid the money, when people have said, I've got information, I know where your daughter is, or I know what happened to her. If you pay this, I can put you in contact with... there's lots of times when I've thought about it and I've thought, well, if I know this is really true, I would try and get the money and pay it. But at the same time, you are apprehensive and thinking, oh, is this a scam? Is this somebody trying to, to con me or trick me?
And did they contact you by email, by phone, by text? How did they reach out to you, the scammers?
Those ones contacted the local newspaper, a journalist, and then they contacted us. Another two people, it was only 6 weeks after Georgina first went missing, and somebody contacted me on the Messenger on Facebook to say that I know where your daughter is. I've actually seen her. And I said, where? And he said, I was on holiday in South Africa. And, at the time I thought, oh, don't be silly, she wouldn't be. But there's also that possibility, that part of you which you want to engage, you want to listen because you're desperate for answers and you're desperate for information. And you're just ready to listen to anything just because you think I can't rule anything out. Even
you asked for a photo, didn't you?
Yeah. So, and he said that she couldn't leave because she didn't have a passport, and he wanted to help her, but he needed some money to help get her a passport. And like my daughters were saying, oh, Mum, just don't talk to these people, they're scams and that. And then I had another one a few months later.
Just on that one, Andrea, didn't you ask for a photograph and they mocked one up? I asked for a
photograph, yeah. I said, that was straight away. I said, can I have a photograph? Just show me. And he said, okay, I'll try and get one. And then the next day he sent me this photograph, and you could see where he'd lifted her photograph off a photograph off our page, and then he put it on something else. But it just looked so fake straight away because there were sort of flowers around her. And I felt really silly at the time because I thought, this isn't true. And, and he's sort of been, taking me for a mug. And I've actually fallen for this for a few days. It had gone on for like 3 or 4 days at the time, and I've been sort of answering you and replying to you and engaging with you and giving you my time.
You're just desperate. You're desperate for that little modicum of information, aren't you?
I mean, the amount of sort of psychics and mediums as well, over the 5 years that I've spoken to and listened to, and every time that, I never really get anything positive from them, and I think, oh, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not listening to any more, and I've paid to sometimes I've paid to go and see them or get readings because I'm so desperate, or somebody's recommended them and they said they're just amazing, they're absolutely fantastic. They told me this and this and this,
and some of them might think that they're genuinely giving you information they've got in their head, right?
Yeah. And so because you're so desperate, and someone's recommended it and said that they told them the most amazing things about their granddad or their husband and things, you just think, well, I need to try this as well, and that's how it goes on, and then you find that they've got no information at all, or it's just completely irrelevant to you. And I keep saying, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. Then someone else sort of recommends something. Have you spoken to so and so? And I'd say, oh no, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then they say, oh, they're amazing. And there's just something of you that is pulled there because you think, oh, I can't let this. It just might be that one. They might just have that information, and that's how it goes on. And my daughters are always saying, oh, Mum, don't listen to them anymore. Please don't listen to them. And, but as me as a mum, I just think, but I can't. I need to. I have to just do anything possible.
I just, in terms of the scamsters who are, pretending to be you and setting up fake PayPal links and all that, I just can't get inside the head, Joanne. Of someone that knows the misery you're going through, that guttural human misery of someone you love disappearing, and they're taking advantage of it. They're exploiting it for money.
Imagine someone seeing this as an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's
sick, isn't it?
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I just think there's no way they can understand or even try to imagine what we're going through, because there's no way that you would see this as a financial opportunity.
But once again, look, and I know I'm going off on a slight tangent here, but, you as a law-abiding citizen, try opening a bank account, and you've got to prove all sources of identity, rightly so, right? And you've got to, if you get a significant amount of money in your life, you sell a house, whatever, you've got to tell the bank where it came from, where it's going, you've got to validate it, you've got to do all of that. There's all of these checks. And yet these scamsters seem to be able to hide from sophisticated governments around the world. And the tech companies, the billion-pound tech companies, they don't seem to be able to help in tracing these people who are using their networks to target people like you two. There's something doesn't add up.
Yeah, I know, and you're right. And in a right-thinking society, I think that what you're saying is exactly right. But, do these big companies actually care about a few rogue payments? Do they care that Georgina's mum has been told that she's going to be killed if they don't give 50,000 Bitcoin? Do they care? It was only whenever we had, an army behind us reporting these accounts that they got taken down. This wasn't an easy process. I imagine if I was just Let's Find Lisa trying to get these rogue accounts taken down, it would have taken a lot longer. But we have thousands of supporters who actually helped us to do that, because Twitter were actually bombarded with reports of a fake account. But if that hadn't happened, if I was just Let's Find Lisa on my own doing this, I don't know how much Twitter would have noticed, or any of the other social media giants. And that's the problem. It's all these individual wrongdoings that don't seem to come under the notice of the social media companies.